Hi all, welcome to the introductory session on blockchain. I'm the trainer for this particular course. My name is Neeraj Kumar. I have more than 15 years of experience and more than 7 years of training experience related to corporate and online training. So I have done training on many technological, on many technological developments. My major area of specialization is blockchain, data analytics, IoT, and AWS. Currently, I'm working with various companies as independent technical consultant. For the bigger picture, you can check my projects also online. The name of the few are like Belfrix, Belfrix Global Exchange, then Belgium.io. All these for all these projects, I have worked as an independent, technical consultant. So before we move forward into our training, my personal idea of anything is that there must be some problem and there must be some solution. So to solve the problem, we have the solution. So to understand the solution better, we need to understand the problem first better. So before we go into the blockchain and before I talk about more and more about the blockchain, better we understand what was the problem into the current scenarios which led to the development of the blockchain, and which led to the development of the cryptocurrencies on the later stage. So if you talk about the blockchain, of course, and the cryptocurrencies started way back in 1992. Where somebody has presented the paper about the distributed architecture and the distributed information sharing. And then moving forward, somebody thought about near about 2008, after seeing the bubble burst of the telecoms, dot-com burst, that why not we have some system where everything is distributed and nobody holds anything into the system. It is all the collective holding of the things. So that was the idea behind it. Then moving forward, of course, on the basis of the first came the Bitcoin. The governments have the apprehensions about the Bitcoin because the cryptocurrencies are good, but it was the anonymity of the peers which led to the government resisting about the cryptocurrencies. So of course. Later on, people started moving and exploring more and more Bitcoin and then try to understand that how it is working, and they discovered that underlying technology is called as a blockchain. So whatever the technology they have discovered underlying, it is basically called as a blockchain. So let's go first that in this particular class, what we are going to discuss and how we are going to conclude. So of course I'll be sharing some problems, the real life problem, what are the problems and how it led to the development of the blockchain. So the problems and then the solution came, the blockchain, the distributed ledger, then future and scope of the blockchain. Of course, with the different companies are taking doing the market research, and they are just seeing that what can be done into the coming future and how the different technologies are going to behave. Then of course most of you are new to this technology, so you must have the question that why you should learn this blockchain technology and why you should invest money into this blockchain technology and why you should invest time into this blockchain technology. So of course that we will be also going to discuss. After that, I'll be discussing about the roadmap, the learning roadmap, when you'll be get connected with us. So how we are going to cover the whole cycle of the teaching the blockchain, the each and every part, like from introduction of the blockchain to playing with the blockchain, doing something, and then again understanding the current market scenarios and how they are behaving, how you can implement blockchain into these market case studies and come with the solution. Then of course at the last we'll be discussing about the types of the projects related to the blockchain. And then of course I'll be concluding all our learning into the first session. So let's first go into the problem. So what was the problem? So if you talk about the development of the different technologies and different way of system architecture, so in most of the time we find that we have a central database and we have the application servers and we have the clients. But it has a problem that all the informations are the centralized. So if your centralized servers are corrupted or compromised, your data is compromised. So in that case, you will be losing your data, you losing customers. So that was the problem. So people started thinking about why not put the things into the distributed manner. So even they achieved some extent before that, and I'm talking about way back in 2005 or 2004, where people discovered about, develop the replications, where they have one main servers and then they have the 4-5 servers where they will be distributing their informations and then doing the load balancing kind of things. But it was not true distributed, because even in that case there was a challenge that if your main servers are hacked, then you can lose all the informations. Of course, you have the backups and you have the other systems, other replication systems having the information. From there you can recover but it has the long time to recover the information. It takes long time to recover the information. So that was the first problem which we see into the centralized kind of system. Of course, when we move forward, we have the security breach also. So it is the security also, information security also, because all the informations are concentrated at one place, and if somebody breaks down into that particular security of that computer, they can steal your information. So again, after that, it was what other things. So if we talk about today's scenario, so I will share you one example. In the US, every year nearly 0.1 million people die of the duplicate medical products. So you can imagine that in the top developed country, the people are dying because of the medical this duplicate products. So what is going to be the situation into the developing nations and still undeveloped countries like South African countries like Kenya, Nigeria, Tanzania. So the thing was that the information was not shared properly. Also, there was not transparency, because there was no sharing and no transparency. There was a deficiency of the information. There was no trust build up. So you can see that in today's world, most of the time, way back 2-3 years, it was a linear information sharing, like from raw material to the producer to the distributor to pharmacy, and pharmacy to the patient. But patients have no idea from where they are getting the medicine, or will it be the right medicine what they are taking. So the particular, let's say that if the Cadila or the which a famous or some few famous company has developed that product, so what is the guarantee that that product belongs to that particular company? So it was the linear information sharing. So if you talk about that, of course, it comes with the when you go about talk about the blockchain. Of course, it is all the parties are participating into the information sharing. Everybody has the copy of the information, and they can rely on each other by the way of transparency. So with the transparency and sharing of the knowledge, the information, they are building the trust. So that way it enhances the company value, the product value. Everybody into the ecosystem get benefited from that. So there are various problems, of course, when we will go into the detail of the course, when we'll be studying together in the next lectures, we'll be understand more and more. I'll be explaining more and more problems like financial crisis and the limited resource conditions, where you have the limited resource, but governments are printing money and inflating the money. They are doing the trade on their own terms. They are holding the terms. That is centralization. So there are various problems. But overall, if you see, talk about the general people, that why the general people or the common people should participate into the blockchain-based networks or participate into the technological-driven blockchain-based products. So these are the basic, conditions which attracts the common people. So moving forward, of course, we will talk about the blockchain. I have given you ample idea that what was the problem and how the blockchain came into the picture from the 1992 and how it is maturing. day by day. If we talk about the maturity, of course, it is still into the development and adjustment phase where the people are, studying it, adjusting it, implementing it, and trying to solve problems. It is not 100% done, but of course, it is getting better and better more day by day. So if you talk about the blockchain, of course, in the layman term, it is a distributed application. So everybody holds all the information. Everybody has a copy of information. So what happens that in that case, if somebody, let's say some computer got compromised, so even in that case, your network goes down. Sorry. And so you have the other people running your network. So if 10 people are participating into the network, there are 2 people who are not participating, they have some problem, they dropped out from the network, the remaining 8 will run the network. Other things which are very important to the blockchain, if you talk about the blocks and chains, it's simple. It is based on this data structure, that is linked list, where you have the information node and then you are connecting with the pointers, the different information node. The same thing is happening where the information nodes are becoming the blocks, where in the blocks we are storing the informations, whatever the informations are there. It may be at present, if you go and study the market, they will be more talking about the transactions and money transactions also. It's nothing like that. You can hold any kind of information, but it needed 2 parties who are 2 or more parties who are participating into that transfer of that particular information. So in other terms, we can say that it is a transaction, of course, because it is taking the information is getting shared, but it is a sharing also, not truly the transaction. When we talk about the money terms, or when we talk about the liquidity or the material things, of course, then in that case we talk about the transactions. But when we talk about the intellectual properties, we can say that it is more about sharing. So, of course, everybody has the copy of the information. So it becomes immutable because nobody can override the information because once it is written, so everybody has the same copy, even if it is written on 2 or 3 places. Let's say 10 people are participating and 2 people have got the wrong information, then in that case the remaining 8 will be going to take care of that. So the remaining 8 will be say that no, you have the wrong information, we have the correct information, so majority wins. It is all about the democracy. This all goes with the 51% people are what information they are holding. Of course, it is distributed, so it is very hard to go and crack the network and then write down that particular information, manipulate the information at each and every node. Because it is distributed, so it is very difficult to manipulate the information of the blockchain. So that is about the blockchain. So you need to just understand that that the blockchain consists of the information nodes, which was already present into the linked list, and then the linking of that particular information nodes. And then it is a distributed peer-to-peer. So there are a few things more which is happening. You'll be listening more and more. There are a few terms which I'll be explaining. Like we will be talking about blockchain, then peer-to-peer communication, then we will be talking about distributed information. So of course I have explained you the blockchain, that what is blockchain. Of course the peer-to-peer communication is point-to-point communication. Basically, it was existing technology which is incorporated into the blockchain way back into the 90s. Most of we people have used it in some other form like BitTorrent, for downloading some music or some files. So that was the idea. It is in simple terms you can understand by this the mobile network where everybody has their own number. If you wanted to get connect with that particular person, you have to dial that particular number and you'll be connected. And there is a dedicated connection between you and that particular person. So if you create a what you say a conference, if you create a conference call, In that case, what happens that, okay, everybody is connected with their own particular channel that is private, and on that private channel you people are talking. So information is getting shared with each and everybody. So that's the thing. So distributed, of course, if you say about it is not centralized. It is not at the one place or one. The infrastructure is distributed in nature. So people have their own copy of information, and so it is very. We say that it is immutable, it is secure, and it is nobody can hack it. Because everybody has their own copies, and 51% people are saying that this copy is correct, then that will be taken into the consideration. So that is a brief about the blockchain. Of course, we will go into the more and more detail when we'll be going into the another lecture. So everybody in the market is thinking and talking about the blockchain. Okay, so why blockchain? Why it is crucial? So that is very important, so everybody asking why blockchain is crucial. So there's various factors which makes the blockchain crucial, like trust. In the previous discussion, we have told you about how it is building the trust. So of course, trust is if we talk about the trust, it is various consensus algorithms are used. So the concept, basically in short, the consensus algorithms are the mechanism by which they the people who are participating into the network comes at the same level. Means they comes to the consciousness that okay, whatever everybody is saying is correct or not. So there's a more than 20 consensus algorithms present in the market. Like Bitcoin is using POW, then Ethereum is already using also using the POS and POW. Then the Lisk is there, which is using TPOS. Then Neo is there. So various different blockchains are using different consensus algorithm. The different consensus algorithms works in different way, and on that way the people are participating into that network. They get rewarded for that. So that way they build up the trust. Of course, about the security, when we talk about the second advantages, what makes the blockchain more crucial to the world, that is the security. As we talk about into the previous slide, that previously it was a centralized database and centralized information storage, and it was, if it is hacked, then you can lose your information, you can lose the system. But as it is distributed into the nature, so it is not easy for people to hack into the system and then modify the information and make sure that it is so if they wanted to do the modification, they need to hack 51% of the systems participating into the chain and blockchain, and then modify the same information at each and every place. Then only it is going to be the effective into the blockchain. So it is not easy for anybody. Like if you wanted to, at present, if you wanted to hold the blockchain, this Bitcoin blockchain, you need the 33% of hashing power. So for 33% of hashing power, you need to spend trillions of rupees for the hardware and maintaining it. So it's not it's not easy for one person to hack into the system and manipulate the blockchain, and then they go away with their own way. Of course, if we go forward, then it is the immutable, because editing and deleting is not possible. Even if somebody is able to do editing or deleting at one place, it is not going to affect the blockchain network, because it is the information is stored with each and everybody. In that case, that particular information is recovered from some other people, and then it will be the correct information is restored. Decentralized in network, of course, it is decentralized in network because nobody is holding the information. Means nobody is holding the network. Everybody who is participating into the network have all the informations, and it is all the way the democratic way, where everybody who are participating into the network has some value. Okay, so in that case, nobody can dictate the terms over the blockchain. That okay, let's do this thing or let's do that thing. For that, for that everybody need to whoever is participating in the blockchain need to be on the coming to the same platform, same level of understanding. Then only it can, manipulated. So it is decentralized in its nature. Of course, we have talked about the distributed, distributed nature of the blockchain because it is the core of the blockchain, and that the application is distributed into the nature. All the participating people have the informations. Of course, the low latency, because if as I have discussed in the previous slide, and that if you are the 10 people are participating into the network and 2 people are gone down, it is not going to affect your system. The other 8 will serve your purpose. So that way it makes the complete package for a software where you can build up trust, where you can build security, immutability, decentralized, whatever the features you are looking into the safe and secure application or product. You can find all these things incorporated into the blockchain. So it is very crucial. How it works. So even I have explained you that in the previous in the introductory slide that so you have the blocks and you have the chain. The blocks and the chains are basically nothing. It is the data structure, that is the data structure, that is a linked list where you have the information node and they are linked. So in the same way it happens on the blockchain, but everybody is maintaining that chain. They have the information about that information node and the chaining. So what happens in the real world, that if somebody sends some information, we don't talk about the transaction. So that let's say that somebody wanted to share some information. It goes to the network, that is the blockchain network. It is shared among the people who are participating into that particular network. Everybody verifies that information, whatever the information came into the network. Later on, it is the verified information is included into the block, and it is saved over the network. So everybody gets the same copy of the information. So that way basically blockchain works. Of course, we will go into more and more detail about internal functioning of the blockchain. But overall, if you look, if you wanted to take the overview, it is more like that you have the information. Everybody got the same copy of the information. Everybody individually verifies it that the information is correct or not. Of course, there's a set defined rules for that, which you can say that sometimes it is called as smart contract also, where you have the set of defined rules and you are following that rules, and on the basis of that rules you are taking the decision. So that rules are very well set defined, and the information is checked that it is falling into that set defined rule or not, and then if it is falling into that, then it will be included into the network. If it is not, then of course it is going to be discarded, and it is not going to be included into the block, and it is not included into the blockchain. So in that way, the information is shared. Information is make sure that it is correct and stored into the blockchain for future references. So that way the blockchain works. The basic question people are asking nowadays, that why somebody learn blockchain, or why invest money into the learning blockchain, or why they should go into the blockchain, what is the future of the blockchain. So instead of going into my personal experience, I will be sharing the real-time information, the research which is done by major companies, and into the market of the blockchain and all these coming technologies. So the Gartner published a report where they have placed the blockchain into the digital innovation, where the digital information sharings are happening, and it is one of the strategic technology trend into the 2017 top 10 strategic technology trends in 2017. Again, if we talk about the VCAP is a very known research organization. So they have also published their report, and they say that if you talk about the dividing the the years by innovations. So that till the 1994 and again till the 2015 and after that 2015, which is going on. So in that case, it is one of the blockchain is one of the promising technologies which is coming up into the market. And of course, the other thing is that big potential, which is which we look for the blockchain. By the 2015, it was estimated that it is near about the market cap is 15.49 billion, and by 2024 it is going to rise to 20 billion. That is nearly approximately about 40%, I think, growth into the market. So it is going to be a big opportunity for the people who are the initial starters, because it has just started a few years back, and if you initially invest in your time, money into it, it is going to be the bright future in coming 5, 10 years, of course. So that's not my experience, it's the experience which great companies are sharing, that okay, this is the thing you should be going into. So I should say that these are the things which you can look for. Common requisites, of course, the people who are coming into for the learning, that if you wanted to learn the blockchain, what are the prerequisites, of course, they have into the mind for learning the blockchain. Because if you see the current scenarios, all the blockchain which are developed are on different platforms, different languages are used, like in the Bitcoin is based on the C++, then Ethereum is based on Go and Solidity, then Lisk or Crypto is based on Node.js. So it's all about the different blockchains. So if you have the mindset of that of the particular language, and you wanted to stick to one particular blockchain framework or one particular blockchain, then of course it is going to be very difficult to grow into the market in coming years. For that, there are some guidelines, of course, like you should have the computer science degree or diploma or engineering diploma, so that you can understand the basic nitty-gritties of the blockchain, means networking, peer-to-peer communication, decentralized algorithms. Okay, so that will help you. Basically, this will help you to understand the nitty-gritty of the blockchain. Of course, a willingness to learn. This is a very important point, my dear friends, because if you talk about the blockchain, it is not dependent on the technology. It is not dependent on the one platform. It is all at present driven by the community, and the community is so vast. They are developing, on the different platform, on experimenting basically with the different platform, different technologies, different programming languages, different infrastructures. So if you wanted to keep pace with it, you must be willing to learn, because you have to keep learning and reading about the new trends coming into the market and new things happening into the market of the blockchain. Strong skill with at least one of the following, of course, because that will create your base. On the basis of that, my understanding that if you understand the basics of the one programming language, you can do the coding in any programming language. It's all about understanding the nitty-gritties of the basics of any programming language, because the logic remains same, only the way we write code it changes. So if you are good into any one programming language, anyone like C, C++, Java, Python or Go, you can easily transform yourself from one programming language to another programming language, and from one blockchain technology to another blockchain technology. So these are the three qualities which are very much required for any person, anybody who is interested into the blockchain, studying about blockchain, learning about the blockchain. If you if you talk about the roadmap, that is a learning curve, we say that. So in the learning curve, of course, we'll be discussing about the basics of the blockchain. We will be giving you the fair idea about the algorithms, the linked list, the peer-to-peer communication, the blocks, then different terminologies which are going to be used into the this blockchain space, like decentralized, lasers, then you have the blocks, then private blockchain, public blockchain. There's a various terms which are used into the day-to-day life, and that need to be understand when you are talking. And again, of course, the implementation of the blockchain in different business scenarios. Then of course we will be I'll be guiding you into the installation and playing around with the blockchain with a few of the available blockchain. Like we will go with the installation of Ethereum. We will be creating the private blockchain with the Ethereum. Then of course installing Hyperledger, playing with the Hyperledger, doing with the different understanding the case scenarios, different case studies, and how it is going to be implemented in coming futures, that kind of things. And then after we will of course talk about little bit about the coin exchanges, because it is a very big market nowadays, because people are developing coins and they wanted to trade. So exchanges are the best place, cryptocurrency exchanges. So how these cryptocurrency exchanges are built up, how the coin trading takes place, how these liquidity providers are working, and how the people are making money out of it. So that kind of things we will be of course discussing into. Then that goes with the enterprise application buildup, where we will be discussing about different use cases, like how blockchain is going to help in supply chain or healthcare or in the land registry, different means enterprise level of applications which needed to be taken care with the help of the blockchain. Last but not the least, if you wanted to do certification or training with the blockchain, you can consult with us. You can write down with the given mail on the given mail, and you can contact us on the given phone number also. Thank you all. Thanks for your time. Hope to see you into the next class. Thank you.